Ah, okay. Okay. Okay.
So I remember playing, is it FACE? How to remember the notes going up?
Yes. Yes.
Right.
Oh, okay. Yes. Well, don't be scared of this because it's just a matter of practice. You know, I've been doing this for over 45 years. I'm I'm kind of an experienced player, but you know, not because I'm more intelligent than you are. Just a matter of practice. So this is mathematics, nothing more, nothing less. You have to keep this in mind. So these are accidentals. This particular key pitch has 4 accidentals. It's a minor pitch. Its corresponding major pitch is A major flat, A flat major. That's why we have 4 accidentals, okay? So what does it mean? Whenever you find these notes, okay, they are flat notes, okay, every time, unless you find a new accidental that cancel that accidental or suggest a new one, okay? But this is another story. And yes, BPM, that's the metronome. Okay, I chose 78. And like I said before, why did I choose this particular key signature? Why did I choose F minor? I don't know. I was playing, you know, I was improvising, and okay, and there was an F minor. Take a look at this thing, Martin. Could you circle it, please? RALL point. This is an abbreviation for rallentare, which is Italian for slow down, okay? But this is not part of musical notation. This is part of dynamics. Dynamics are mostly in Italian. I don't know why, I don't know, but I'm very happy because there's something Italian in music. And well, you can also use slow down, but you know, everybody uses the Italian words. So rallentare is simply slow down. You have to slow down just a bit back because in the following bar, as you can see, you find a tempo, which means in time, okay? You can slow down a bit, but from this bar on, you have to resume the previous beat, okay? So the metronome was 78, you have slowed down a bit on the previous bar, now it's 78 again, okay? Why do we use this particular notation? Do we use dynamics? Because we are human beings. So it's like playing, it's like speaking. If you speak like this, today is a beautiful day, I'm very happy to be here. Well, it's a nightmare. There's no expression. So you add expression to the whole piece because you are an interpreter, okay? And you have to convey feelings to the audience. And the Italian words are meant for that. Okay, so you slow down and then you resume the previous beat, 78. Okay, and okay, you can turn the page. Well, okay, there's an important thing. Oh, pedal ad libitum. Ad libitum is a Latin word. It means it's your call. Okay, do whatever you want. So you can use a long pedal. You can hold the pedal for 2 bars. You can hold the pedal for just 1 bar. It's a matter of taste, okay? Well, normally we change the pedal every time we meet a new harmony, okay? Because if we keep different harmonies together with the pedal, we will just create chaos. It's not a piece written by Ravel or Debussy, those French composers, you know, that remind us of those famous French painters, les impressionnistes. Okay, you have to clean what you are playing. You have to keep it clean every time. Okay, so I suggest changing the pedal whenever you have to change. You meet. You're facing a new harmonic pattern, okay? Just not to add different harmonies to other harmonies because it's going to be chaos. So the audience won't understand anything. So I try to be as clean as possible. But pedal ad libitum it means do whatever you want. Okay. So I'm just giving a tip, but I'm not, you are not compelled to do what I'm telling you to do. Okay. So it's free. Okay. Second page, please, Martin. Any question?
What is
Okay.
this right here?
Okay, nice. This is okay, but first of all, I have to say that why do we have in this particular case the same key? I mean, the violin key or the treble clef. You can call it treble clef or violin key. Why the same key? Because both the right hand, which is the upper staff, and the left hand, which is the low staff, they are playing in a particular section of the keyboard. So everything is related to the section of the keyboard you are playing in. Now we are playing on the right, on the extreme right, because the sound is very acute, very sharp. And we are very close to the end of the keyboard. That's why I added 8. This is another Italian word. It means ottava, Italian for octave. Okay, you are playing an octave upper. Okay, which means that I was compelled to do that because, you know, every note below or above the staff needs an additional flag and an additional ledger line. Okay, so because you have to understand that it's a different note. If you stay inside the staff, you have just to put the notes inside a space or on a line. But if you are below or above the staff, outside the staff, you have to use ledger line. And what are ledger line? You know, this short line which are you know, on the beam. Can you see them? This note has 2 ledger lines. They are called ledger lines, and you have to read them as notes that are they are higher notes. Okay, a higher note means that you have to shift your right hand to the right. Have I made myself clear? It's a bit clear, because if I had a keyboard, it would be much easier for me to show you what we had to do. But in order to keep the notation as simple as possible, I added this thing, the number 8 and VA. It means octave upper. Okay. You can do the same with your left hand, but in this particular case, I chose to do so because if I hadn't done this, you wouldn't have been able to read the notation, because there would have been a lot of ledger lines, a lot of additional flags, a lot of notes. It was, the sheet would have been all black. Okay, so I just kept it simple. So, and why this particular treble clef for the left hand? Because the left hand is playing on the upper section of the keyboard as well. So they're playing close to each other. And what is this, Martin? You know, you see a white note, then I will explain later what it means. And this means that the value of this note is longer than the black notes. And this particular note, its value is 2. So this is a crotchet. Marco has just circled the crotchet, the black note. And this is, in Italian, we call it the breve. And it is, okay, it's 2. Its value is 2. If you add the value of these 3 notes, you will have 4, because the time signature was 4. So every bar has to be 4. So 1 plus 2, it's 4. Okay. So if you had to sight sing or solfeggiare in Italian, you would play this like this. Mi, da, da. Okay, 1, 1, 2. So the white note, it means that when you put your finger on the keyboard, you have to hold your finger and count 2. Okay, if you lift your finger before the 2, before you have reached the real value of the note, you're making a mistake. So you have to hold the note, because this note, its value is 2. So 2 beats, exactly. 2 beats, and the rest, the following rest, is 2 beats as well. 2 plus 2 is 4. Okay, Martin, what note? Can you read this note? The one before the rest? Anyone
I'm
read
still
this?
here.
So it's
My mic
flat.
is muted.
It's an
There's
F.
no,
It's an F.
oh, sorry. Yeah,
So-
yeah.
It's an F. This is an F. Okay. Okay.
Can I point
is
something out?
Yes, you can. Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so because you were talking about these B's here, and these B's mean flats. So every time that a note falls on any of these, you have to play a flat. So it goes regular, 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 right?
Okay. Well, this note,
Flat.
this note is not flat. This note is a normal flat, because as you can see,
Yep.
this note is not part of the key signature. You know, there are no accidental. The F is not part of these 4 accidentals. Okay, so this F is just a natural note, but this note, in the previous bar, there are a couple of notes that have to be played as flat notes, because they're part of the 4 accidentals you see in the key signature. So this is a natural note. But if you had to play, for example, an A in this piece of mine, that A would be a flat note, a flat A, because it's part of the 4 accidentals you see close to the treble clef. Okay, so in this, so far we haven't met any additional accidentals, the ones who force you to play the notes in a different way. So so far everything is very simple. And keep in mind, a tempo, like I said, James, you have to resume the previous beat. So, Martin, any questions? Have you understood everything, or do you want me to explain
So-
again?
Right here, I'm gonna make a circle, and right here, I'm gonna make a circle. So we have one hand, and
Yes.
this side we have another, and this
Yes.
is gonna be played with your right hand. This is gonna be
Right
played
hand,
with your left.
left hand, exactly,
Okay.
exactly. And we are playing in the in a particular section of the keyboard, the upper section. You know, you're on the right, on the right.
Now,
And so, well,
can you explain again what the treble clef is?
the treble clef is, we call it, yes, this particular clef. It's the violin key. I don't know why. Well, I know it's called the violin key because people who play violin read music using this key. That's why it's called the violin key. Can you see where this key starts? You know, it starts on a particular note. That note is the G, is a G. And that's why the violin key or treble clef is called the G key, because it starts with the G. And violinists use this key, but there's a huge difference between violin players and pianists. We have to read music on two different keys, you know, one for the right hand and the other one for the left hand. But the violinist just needs one key, the treble clef or the violin key. Okay, for them, everything is much easier. Okay.
So you may have a piece of music where the left hand is using the bass clef.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes, yes. Yeah. Scroll down, please, Martin, because this is the introduction of the piece.
Does this right here have any significance?
What, Martin? Can you? Where are you?
Right where I'm drawing.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Just part of the
Okay, so I'm gonna write
of the
that.
musical
I-
notation, but it doesn't change anything.
Okay.
Anything.
I'm just kidding.
Anything.
I'm
But
erase
I'm
it.
going to tell you about the musical notation and the duration. Can you tell me the difference between these notes, the white notes and the black notes? Okay, as you can see, there are white notes, and the white notes are always longer. They always last longer than the black notes. Okay, so it's not very difficult to understand. You just have to hold the note and respect its value. We have this note. We have the black note with the beam, with a single beam. Okay, just before the wide note. It's called crotchet or quaver. Okay, it's a crotchet. It's a quarter. Okay, and okay, and its value is 1. But you also have these other notes. There's other notes before the quarter. They are called eighth. This is an eighth. Okay, and these are beamed because they are part of the same group. So this is the wide note is 2. The quarter is 1, and the value of an eighth is half a quarter. Okay, as you can see, 2/8, okay, give you a quarter. 2 quarters give you a wide note with a single beat, with a single stem. Okay, so you know this one, an eighth plus an eighth, we have a quarter. So this is 1. This is a single quarter, so 1 plus 1, 2. And this is a wide note, and its value is 2. So 1 plus 2 is always 4. Okay. You can do things in a different way. The final count must be 4 every time. If it's not, well, it just means that you're making some mistakes. And if you are writing by using Sibelius, the computer will tell you that you are making a mistake because it's a machine. But if you're not using Sibelius or any other program, you are writing down your music just by using a piece of paper and the pen, and you have to be very careful because you can make such a mistake. Okay, so this is the beat is 4/4 every time. The count is 4. Okay. What is the left hand playing? We have 8/8, as you can see. So do the maths, and you will have 4 again. Okay. Every couple of 8 is 1. So we have 4 couples of 8. So the final value of the bar is 4 every time. No doubt about this. I chose Japanese sunrise because it's very simple and it's very easy to understand this very simple concept. Okay, so as you can see, now count at bar number 24, Martin, there's an accidental. Okay, can you see it? Bar 24. As you can see, this is an accidental. This is what does it mean? What does it mean? That you have to play this very note as a natural note. So each time you find this symbol, you know, it's in the left hand at the end of the bar number 24. Each time you find this symbol, you have to cancel the accidental that you have in the key signature. Okay, so okay,
So
this is
instead of playing the flattened version, you have to play.
yeah.
You have to correct yourself.
Yeah, it's very important because this is an accidental which is not in you know, in the key signature. So I have changed it. So if I had not used it, you would have played it as an E flat, because the E is one of the 4 accidentals you see very close, which is in the key signature. But this time I wanted a natural E. So I used this symbol. This symbol is very important. Its only function is to cancel, to eliminate any accidental. It can be a flat, it can be a sharp note. Okay, if you put it, if you add it, it means that that flat note, that sharp note must be played as a natural note. Okay, so be very careful when you use it. Okay. Okay, Martin. Oh, look at the end of bar number 32. Okay, yes. Okay, Martin. Yeah, I'm gonna. Maybe you have a question. Why do we have a flat? Do we have a flat note here? Why do we have this symbol? You would say it was useless. The computer didn't need to add this symbol because it's part of the 4 accidentals of the pitch. Okay, why do we have this symbol again? It's kind of remainder. The computer is telling you, don't forget that in this bar, you had to play a flat E. Okay, again. In the previous bar, I put an accidental to cancel it, but in this new bar, the previous accidental is no more valid. So you have to resume the previous pattern. So the 4 accidentals you have in the key signature. So this is just a reminder. It's telling you, oh, don't forget, the E must be played as a flat E. Okay. It's just to help the artist, the pianist or the musicians to keep all this in mind. Okay. Okay. And at the end of bar number 32, we have another Italian word up above. This means ritenuto, ritenuto, R-I-T-E-N-U-T-O. It's a past participle, and simple and plain, it means you have to slow down a bit. Okay, just slow down. This is very important because 90% of musicians use Italian words. So if you don't know them, well, it's going to be hard. It means slow down. It's very similar to rallentare, but in this very particular case, you have to do it. Well, it's more related to the personal taste of the musician. Okay. And then I wrote again tempo primo. So the first beat. Okay. You have to resume the first beat again. Okay. And so Kevin, here we are. Here we have the bass clef. Okay. Okay. Where does this new clef start? It starts on an F note. But keep in mind a very important thing. From this very moment on, from bar 33, you have each pianist, every pianist in the world has to read the 2 staves with 2 different musical notation. This is a nightmare. Yes. I know you didn't want me to tell you that, but simple and plain. What does it mean, Martin? That if the, for example, you put a note in the 2nd space, okay, of the staff, the right hand will read a note, but the same note in the same space will be read in a different way by the left hand. So this is kind of nightmare. Okay. It's like you were playing 2 different instruments. Okay. Yeah. And I'm a lucky guy because I'm just a pianist, but think of a conductor. A conductor has to read 7 different staves, 7 different musical notation, all of them at the same time, because every instrument, think of a clarinet, think of an oboe, think of a trumpet, they read with a different notation. So what does it mean? That an A is placed in different places according to according to the instrument you're playing. So it's a mess. It's a mess. Okay. So first of all, you have to keep this in mind if you want to play this piece, but any piece for piano. Okay. So Martin, this is a bass clef. So as you can see, different symbols, same accidentals throughout the piece. Well, you know, the piece is very similar. The bars, the notes I've written are very similar to the previous one. So there is much to say about this, but if you have any questions about symbols, how to use them, do you want me to explain it again? I perfectly understand it. It's not easy. What do you think, Rob?
Just for everybody else, explain why these little tiny marks go here.
Yeah. Yeah. Because they are no longer part of the, they are not written inside the staff. Every time you play a note outside the staff, you have to add symbols called ledger lines. Okay, ledger lines. What is a ledger line? A ledger line is a particular music notation used to notate pitches above or below the lines and spaces of the regular musical staff, like I said. And so you have to draw a slight line which has to be parallel to the staff, above or below, and spaced at the same distance as the lines within the staff. Okay, it just telling you that you are playing, this is a higher note, and if you go up, the note is, the pitch is higher. If you go down, the pitch is lower. Okay, Martin? So this first note, you can see this first ledger line, it means that you have to play, you have to shift to the left with your right hand. But if you write this kind of notes below the staff, outside but below the staff, it means that you are getting close to your left hand. I would like to have a keyboard, because you would understand everything, because I would place my hand on the keyboard and you would understand where I am playing those notes. But we will able to do this maybe next time when we have the right device. But yes, these are ledger lines. So whenever you have to play outside the staff, you have to add lines parallel to the note itself, to the head of the note. Okay, Martin. The more lines you add, the higher the pitch is. Okay, Martin. Okay, Kevin.
Yeah.
Yes. If
like
you are
little invisible markers, you know, little reference markers, aren't they?
yes.
So like another string up. If I was thinking about it as a guitar, and I'm thinking about it as a higher string.
Yes, bravo, Martin. This is a ledger line, but below the staff. This is a low note. The pitch is lower than the other ones. So what does it mean? It means that you are getting close to the left section of the keyboard. Okay, so it just it was meant, this particular notation was meant to help the pianist to find the right place, okay, in the keyboard. So it just kind of, you are like a sailor, okay? You have to understand where you are heading for. So you have to know where your destination is. So it's kind of map, okay? The more lines you add to the head of the notes, the higher you're gonna play with your right hand. This is what this particular notation was meant to be. So it's just a matter of practice. You know, the piece is quite regular, okay? This is, I have repeated everything, and I have added more chords in order to increase the volume and you know, the sound of the piece. And but it's very clear. There are any additional accidentals. And okay, scroll down a bit, Martin. Okay, see. Okay, do you see the wide hollow notes? Okay, so think of the metronome. It's like the ta. If you have to sight sing, you should do this. Ta 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 ta. It sounds like a Japanese music. That's why I wrote this like this. So you have to count 2. Okay, beat. The beat is 2. Da 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 da. So 2 plus 2 is always 4. And in bar number 42, you have to do this. Da 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 da. And then bar 53, you have to do da 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 da. So the more, this is a tip I'm going to give you, the more notes you see on the sheet, the faster you have to play them. Okay. A white note, well, you're playing slowly. A black note, a lot of black notes inside a single bar, it means that you have to play faster. You have to play a lot of notes and you have to be faster. Okay. That's why the left hand has to be very quick. Okay. Why did I add so many notes? Because I wanted to speed it up. Okay. To add movement, to increase the rhythm, the beat of the entire piece. Because it was, I wanted it to be more expressive, to add pathos. Okay. And the audience, it's like watching a film. You know, you start like a single note, 2 notes, and then it grows, it grows, it grows, it grows, and it grows, and it finally explodes. That's the purpose of music. You have to create the right atmosphere, the right mood. And that's why I use so many notes. Okay. It's not easy to play them, but you know, it's not difficult for me. So you have to play them a bit faster, and everything gets faster. And when Martin plays it all with Sibelius, we'll understand this. Okay, scroll down a bit, Martin, if you have any questions. Okay, look at this. I have changed bar number 64. I have changed the time signature. At the beginning, it was a 4/4. Now it's a 2/4. Why did I do that? Because it was kind of suspense. Okay, da 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 da, stop, and then I resume playing the piece. I wanted to surprise the audience, you know, like a movie. You know, you're watching a James Bond film, and you see da 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 da, and everything stops. That was kind of, you know, a trick, you know, used by musicians to add pathos. You know, you want to make your audience feel that way. They are waiting for something to happen, and suddenly everything vanishes, everything stops. Okay, they don't understand what's going on. What's going on? And I'm resuming the entire piece with a different mood, in a different atmosphere. Same key signature, but, you know, with a different rhythm and a different beat. And now we meet for the first time a symbol, which is very important musical notation. It's called tuplet. Anyone know what a tuplet is? Bar 66. What is a tuplet? I mean, the number 3. You know, what does that mean? What is a tuplet?
Is it like a triple note where it goes ba ba ba?
Yes, yes. In this particular case, we have a triplet. But the tuplet, well, I could tell you that a tuplet is any rhythm that involves dividing the beats into different number of equal subdivisions from that usually permitted by the time signature. For example, triplets, duplets, and so on. Well, a triplet, you know, normally 2 quarter notes, okay, 2 crotchets. In this case, we have 3 wide notes. I have the same duration as a half note. Okay, in this bar, there should have been 2 wide notes, okay? 2 wide notes, because 2 plus 2, you have 4. But in this particular case, I use a triplet. So 3 wide notes that have the same duration of 4 notes, okay? I have distributed them throughout the whole bar to create a particular effect, okay? And the notes involved are often grouped with a bracket or a slur, as you can see, a bracket or a slow, because it means that they have to be played together. And how do you sight sing this? How do you set them? Because this is very important. You have to do this. Da, 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 da. Okay. You have to be to respect mathematics here, but it's kind of, you know, the stress is put somewhere else. Okay, this is a tablet. It's very useful, and a lot of musicians used it when you have to change the mood of a piece. And in this particular case, I used a triplet, but there are a lot of different tablet. You can use 5 notes, 7 notes, and if you want to use 7 notes, you have to write the number 7. Okay. Well, experienced players know what to do, but if you are in trouble, just let your computer do what you need. Okay, because Sibelius mechanically does that for you, so you don't have to worry about this. Okay, and so
how would I write this?
The tablet mean?
Yeah, so 1, 2, they're, you know, so how would you write it?
How do you play it? Yes, well, these are brevi notes, so you just have to you know, it's a 4/4, so it depends. If you want to use a triplet for the entire bar, you use 3 wide notes, and you just add 3, you beam them, and use the bracket, whatever you want. And you have to play like this. If you had 4 crotchets, you have to play this like this. Da, 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 da. But in this particular case, you have to play it like this. Da, 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 da. Okay, this is sight singing this particular bar. When you listen to my performance and to Sibelius, you will understand how you two have to play it, because, you know, just saying it is not easy. You have to listen to it, and you will understand.
But when we see the white notes, you said that it's 2, right?
Yes, there should be two notes. If okay,
2 beats.
2
beats, but you have
Right.
to play them as if you were playing 2 beats. You have 3 beats distributed inside 2 beats. Okay, 3 beats inside 2 beats, but it's always 4. It's always 4. Okay.
This is just really one trick, one
Yes.
trick.
Da, 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 da. You can do the same thing with 2 crotchets. In this particular case, you have 4/8 with your left hand. You can use black notes and the triple by using 3 crotchets. It would mean that 3 crotchets are equal to 2 crotchets. Same principle. You have to play 3 beats inside 2 beats. This is a tablet, a triplet, you know. You can do this with 7 notes, 10 notes, 5 notes, but you have to remain inside the original beats, okay? You can't, for example, this is a 4/4. You can't reason this way. Okay, it's a 4/4. I play like a 6/4. No, it's not possible. If you want to play a 6/4, you have to create a 6/4 bar. But now you're playing the 4/4. So it's always 4. You can't play 5. It's always 4. It's not Stravinsky, who you use 2 bars in 4/4, 3 bars in 7/8, 5 bars in 5/4, and it was a mess. Okay, no, this is a very simple track. So you have to play it as a 4/4. Okay, this is a tablet. If we listen to Skyfall, you will see a lot of incredible things made by Adele and the other musician, I have forgotten his name. So, okay, what is this, Martin? What is this? 74, bar 74, what is this? This is dynamics, okay? This is dynamics. I'm just telling you how you have to play this piece, how you had to play it. Because don't forget, we have been talking about numbers, about mathematics, about musical notation, about symbols, about numbers. But first of all, keep in mind that music is expression. Okay, you don't have to play this like a machine. This particular symbol, it means that you have to, well, to do a crescendo, which means in Italian means increasing. You have to grow little by little. So you start by playing softly, and step by step, little by little, you grow, you increase the whole thing, and you finally play forte, which means with you know, very, you have to in a more powerful with a more powerful attitude. So this is an angle, this angle line opens up, and it means that you have to get louder. Okay, you have to get louder, but little by little. If you get extremely loud, immediately after, I mean in the following bar, it means that you have understood nothing and you are just ruining the piece. You have to do this gradually, little by little. And as you can see, if you scroll down a bit, you will see another symbol, which means that you have to play loud. Normally it's an F, which means forte, loud, and so on. Okay, number 90, as you can see. Can you see the symbol at bar 90? Okay. So this is a stress on the note. You have to play it very loud. And this is the conclusion of that process. So you started by playing very softly, and little by little, you got louder and louder, and it's kind of explosion. Okay, I'm talking about expression. And now you have to play very loud, because this piece of mine was meant for an orchestra. This is kind of resume. The piano is playing an orchestra, but this means that this F means that all the instruments are playing together, and you listen to a kind of explosion, something blowing up. Okay, and you have to be very loud here. This is what very important. Yes, Martin.
Okay.
Why do we have two different keys here? Okay, because yeah. Okay, big.
Yeah, give me 1 second. I had
74. You have the bass clef, and then here you have,
yes.
because I'm telling you, I'm speaking to the pianist. The pianist knows that he has to play in a section, a particular section of the keyboard. This is a tip for the pianist. You have to go down, lower, lower, and lower, and little by little you shift your right hand to the right. Okay, this is a trick to help the pianist. to understand where he has to play. Okay.
So right before that is a treble.
Yes, a treble,
Then
it
it-
means yes that
Then it
you
hits into
are.
bass.
Yeah, exactly. You are in the bass section, and the right hand is playing in the bass section. Exactly.
And does it continue into bass all the way through here?
Through here. And when I add the violin key, it means that you are playing in the central section of the keyboard. And little by little, you are shifting to the left, to the far end of the keyboard, to the right far end of the keyboard. Imagine that you are playing and your right hand is shifting little by little to the right, okay, till the end of the keyboard. Can you imagine that? And I'm guiding you. These two keys are guiding you, like you know, you don't know the right direction. I'm telling you, do this, and little by little, you will end up with playing on the far end, right end of the keyboard. That's why I've introduced the treble clef, because it means, oh, you're now in the right hand area. You are leaving the left hand area. You're now entering the right hand area. Okay. And as a matter of fact, don't forget this, Martin and Kevin. Now I have introduced at bar 74 a treble, a bass clef. It means that you have to read the notes in a different notation according to this key. But as soon as you enter the violin key area, you have to read the notes with a different notation. Okay, so that's why you have to be very trained. You have to do a lot of practice, because for beginners, this is kind of a nightmare. Okay, why? I'm reading this key with this notation, and then I have to change everything. And so you have to be mentally prepared to do this. And it's just a matter of practice. If you can do, it means that you can play a lot of difficult tracks or pieces for piano. You know, there aren't many notes in this composition of mine, but I've just picked it because there are a lot of interesting things to be shared with you, and they are very clear. But I'm keen to listen to the performance. Oh, okay. Martin has just circled a rest. My question is, how long does this rest? What's the value of this rest? 1, 2, 3, 4. Anyone?
Ooh.
One. One. It's just one. One. This is a quarter. It's quarter. The first note is an F. It's 1. Second, the rest is 1, and the 4 quavers you see, the 4/8.
Oh, that's 2, isn't it?
Okay, 2/8, 1. So 4/8, 2. So we have 1, 1, and 2. Okay. So in order to have a quarter, you need 2/8. Okay. In order to have a wide note with a beam, you have to have 2 quarters. Okay. 2/8 together make a quarter note. Okay. So you have 4/8. It's like you had 2 quarters. So 2 quarters plus the initial quarter plus the rest, which is 1, you have 4. You always have 4. 4 is the magic number, because we had the time signature is 4. Okay. You can't make any mistakes here. It's very clear. So as you can see, the 8s are beamed. Okay. They are part of the same group, just to help the pianist understand that they had to be played one after the other. Okay, it's a group. It's a group. So how do you sight sing this, Martin? Bar number 90. Da, 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 da. You have to just hit your table with your hand and do this. Da, 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 da. This is the right way to learn how to read music. Da, 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 da. So 4 beats. It's a 4 beats. Da, 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 etc. Always 4 beats because it's a 4/4, and keep in mind the right values of each note. Okay, and how can you tell the difference between a quarter and an eighth? For example, take a look at the stem of each note. A quarter has a stem, okay, but an eighth has a stem plus a flag, which you can't see now because they are put together in the same group. But a single eighth has a stem plus a flag. That's an eighth, okay? That's an eighth. I wish I could see please scroll down a bit. Maybe I can find an eighth, a single eighth with a flag, so you can see what I'm talking about. Go down, no. Okay, the pattern is very similar to, yeah, it's not a difficult track. Scroll down, Martin, please. Yeah, same, no doubt. Yes, so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This right here, this just means, does that just mean that this note right here goes flat?
It goes flat again. It's a reminder. Yes. You know what? You check the previous bar. Check the previous bar. The previous. Can you see the accidental that cancel any accidental, previous accidental? Right here. Exactly. That was a natural E. Now, in the following bar, the system is telling you, hey, Martin, don't forget, the accidental is part of the key signature. So you have to play it as a flat note. Okay. It's a reminder. It's very useful. It's very useful. Yeah. Until you find another symbol that cancels the accidental, you have to play it according to the initial key signature. Okay. Don't take any initiative. Just respect what you see in the key signature. If the composer wants to change things, it will add an accidental. If the system will reset the previous accidental just to remind you that it's part of the key signature. And it's kind of, he's supporting you, okay? Oh, wow. Yeah, exactly. Let
me get this over here real fast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
It's an E. Yeah. It's an E. E flat. So, okay, I guess we don't have, scroll down because this is a very simple and linear and yeah, go down, scroll down again.
Well, here's a good one for you, right? So we go from bass.
Bass, from the bass,
treble.
Yes. The bass key to the violin key or treble clef. Yes. What does it mean? It means that you're in this time, your left hand is shifting to the right hand area. And I'm helping you to understand this by putting this key, this symbol. Oh yeah, and I'm telling you, hey, your left hand has to play in this section of the piano, the section of the keyboard. Don't forget that, okay? And the things get more simple because both hands have to read the same key, the same music notation, okay? That's one advantage here, you know. But from bar 127, you got 2 different keys, 2 different notations. So it becomes a bit more complicated. So in this, as you have noticed, in this composition of mind, I tend to use different keys and my hands shift to the left section, to the right section very often, because I want to create an effect, you know, and that's what I wanted to do. You will hear this when we play the piece. Yes, exactly, exactly.
Okay, you have a bass to a bass.
Yeah.
And what does that mean?
This is the bass key. Yeah.
All right, and so it just continues on.
Yes. Another, can you see the MP? MP, what does mean MP? An idea? Italian again. It means mezzo piano. Mezzo piano means you are standing for mezzo piano, meaning moderately quiet. Moderately quiet. Mezzo means halfway in Italian. So you are in the middle of something. It's neither loud nor soft. Okay? It's moderately quiet. Okay? So we use mezzo piano. And we also use mezzo forte. So in the middle, halfway between soft and loud. Okay, mezzo piano. I'm sorry, but the dynamics are always written in Italian. So
Let me see something real fast. Okay, so just to go back on this bass, why do we do bass here and then another note for bass here? It's a small one too.
Ah, yeah, yes. This is a mistake. This is a mistake. You're right. Very good, Martin. You're very good. You're a fast learner. Yeah, this is a mistake. There was no need to put this because it was clear that it was the bass key. So it has to be eliminated. Yes, thank you. I will eliminate as soon as possible. It's not a big deal, but you know, it's useless because you already know that you have to play the live hand in that particular section of the keyboard. So it was useless. Sometimes it happens. Okay, molto ritenuto that you have to slow down a lot. Okay, because now I'm introducing you to something new. Okay, so the all the instruments are playing together and something big is going to happen. Something like the Gladiator soundtracks. Tempo primo, you have to resume the first beat, okay? First tempo. This is the same pattern, Martin, throughout the piece, okay?
So you would look at this right here as like almost a rise.
Exactly. Grow up, grow up, grow up, grow up. You're getting louder, louder, louder. But you just have 2 bars to reach the goal. 2 bars, you have to be very quick and you have to, but you know, now you understand how you have to interpret this piece. But a different thing is how to play it, how to use your fingers, okay? This is another story.
Is there a symbol for descend?
Yes.
It would be backwards, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, the opposite. Now it means that you have to decrease. You have to play it softly, softer and softer. Okay, exactly, exactly. Yes.
Thanks.
This can be understood by everyone because you know you use the same symbol in mathematics. You know, but exactly, it's equivalent. But when you find Italian names, wow, it's a mess. I understand that because you know. We are famous for pizza and this stuff.
So based on this piece right here, and it does repeat everywhere, there is...
Oh, look at this. Fortissimo. Very,
go.
very loud. You know, 184. Very, very loud. Fortissimo.
Oh, this right here?
2F. Yes. And then...
Symbol.
What is this symbol? This is... well, it means that, well, it should be a 4, but you can hold the notes a bit longer. It's your call, okay? You expand the duration of the notes. You know, this is, look, take a look at this note. It's a white note. It's a beamless it's a, sorry, a stemless note, no steam, no flag, nothing. It's the longest note in a 4/4. So you have to hold this note till the end. But with the symbol on, the symbol above, what does it mean? That you can hold it longer than 4/4. It's a kind of, yes, it's a device meant to let you play it freely, okay? You can hold it, okay? You can hold it, it's 4/4. You can't hold the notes an hour, okay? It's too long. You have to be balanced, okay? It's up to you, because if you stay low, maybe the audience can think that you are dying slowly, okay? No, you just have to play that note, maybe instead of 4/4, a 5 or a 6, okay? But then you have to resume the initial beat, and you have to play very softly. Well, you know, Rob, very interesting. I would like to listen to this composition of my play by myself, while and having at the same time the score in front of us, so I can guide you, and we can do this, and we can read while listening. It would
Okay,
be
so
very interesting.
Great idea.
This let me get to it real fast.
Because I'm afraid that the computer, Sibelius, won't respect the dynamics I've used, because it's just a computer. But a human being knows what to do. For example, the computer sees ritenuto, slow down, he won't resume the initial tempo. And he will play the rest of the piece like that, very slowly. And this is a huge mistake. A human being knows what to do.
Okay, let me see this.
A machine, even the best machine, the best device, will never be able to be as good as a human being.
It doesn't have the soul yet.
No, yes, you can. Yes, no soul, no feelings. No, you have to tell him what he has to do.
And they can't improvise either.
Yes, they can improvise, but they can improvise according to the stuff you give them. Okay.
So we have two things. One is a P, and then the other one is a PP.
PP, it means pianissimo. Rob speaks Italian, he knows what I'm talking about. If you add issimo to an Italian word, you are increasing the value of that word. So piano means soft, okay, softly. If you say pianissimo, very, very soft, okay, very, very soft. You say forte, forte means loud in Italian. If you say fortissimo, you say very, very loud. So to fortissimo is, you use the symbol double F, double P for pianissimo, double F for fortissimo, okay? You can use even 3F. It means that it's very, 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 very loud, okay? It means that you could break the piano. Yeah. Very, very soft. Very, very, yeah. Of course, let me tell you something useful. If you are playing Mozart, or the classic composers like Mozart, such as Bach, Haydn, and sometimes Beethoven, you can't play very, very loudly. If you play Mozart, you will never see double F or 3F, because he used to play an instrument which was very different from the piano, and it was called harpsichord. And it was a very small piano, the ancestor of the modern piano. The keys was very small, and you know, you have to touch the keyboard very, very gently. If you played a harpsichord like it was a piano, okay, you risked destroying the whole instrument in 2 seconds. You understand what I mean?
Mhm.
A modern piano is totally different from the instruments used by Beethoven and Mozart. Okay, this composition of mine was, of course, it was meant for a modern piano, but okay, you will never find this these dynamics in Mozart or in Bach. Okay, and you know the Italian word for piano is pianoforte. It's the combination of two different words, soft and loud. It means that you have to play that instrument very softly, very gently, but at the same time, very loudly. So you have to put your soul in it. Okay, it's incredible, but we use that word, pianoforte. But we normally use the word piano. Okay.
Okay, let's see where we're at right here. All right, so we're good. Let's open it up.
Have I been useful so far?
I
Yeah.
mean, we probably could now read this really good. So
Yeah, excellent. Thank you, Fabrizio.
Let's
Oh,
listen to
you're-
the piece.
You're
On YouTube.
welcome. Are you recording, Rob?
Yeah, it's recording.
Okay, so you will be able to listen to all the stupid things I've said so far. Okay.
here we go.
If you type Japanese Sunrise by
We're going to do
Fabri-
it on YouTube, not in Sibelius.
yes, on YouTube you can do it. Okay, so you will listen to the different dynamics. And I will tell you, Martin, to scroll down, you know, while the music flows.
All righty.
It would be so interesting. Have you found
Okay.
Japanese Sunrise?
So we're side by side now.
Oh, but this
And-
is a machine. But okay,
We're
let's
not,
hope.
we don't want to listen to it in Sibelius. We want to listen to it on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's do it in Sibelius and then YouTube.
You will listen. Yeah, you will realize the difference.
So I want to see the difference between machine and when he plays it.
And a human being, the author himself.
Okay, so we'll just follow along.
Well, with Sibelius, everything will be easy because he plays and scrolls down
Here we go.
automatically.
That is not where it starts. We go back. We jump all the way to the beginning.
It sounds quite awful, but okay. He didn't resume the initial tempo. Okay, it's a machine. But it's useful to notice the duration of each note. Rest. Exactly, Martin. Da 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 da. Two, three, four, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not the real speed, but okay.
All right.
So it's very simple. I think we should listen to the original because you know it didn't resume the initial tempo, so it just picked it up from the bar where I slowed down, and so it's not correct. It's a machine. It doesn't understand that he has to respect those symbols. No, it's true. That happens whenever I'm transcribing my composition or my arrangements. I have to add that symbol, and every time he doesn't understand that he has to pick up the initial tempo.
It's the first one.
Yeah, this one. This one. Go.
You guys ready for this? There
Oh,
we
yeah.
go.
This is kind of introduction, and it was meant for orchestra. Scroll down, scroll down. Bar number 37. 41. 45. Exactly. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, more notes, it gets quicker. Okay, scroll down, rest. Wait. This is a tablet, listen. Scroll down, scroll down. Bar 70. Scroll down, 74. Okay, look. It's shifting from left to the right. Now it explodes. So, dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Bravo Martin. Dun, 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 dun. Now it picks up. Like the C. And now it suddenly stops. Couplet. Look at, yes, it's increasing. Molto ritenuto. This is the main theme. Picks up. We are very close to the end. The finale is gonna be very loud.
What line are we on?
Yes. heard the ritenuto? Yes. Now tempo primo, piano. Slow down. Did you like it?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
Nothing like the human touch. Machine still can't capture that, right?
Thank you.
Now,
Thank
just
you.
for a reminder, let me shut that off. Hold on.
This is Bon Jovi, same pianist, but different author. Different success, even as well.
Second.
Tom, this
That
is
sounded
Japanese.
great. Really
Oh,
good.
As a reminder,
Martin, I would like you to transcribe this for orchestra.
okay.
With the program you have, it would be so great. So add each part to the right instruments. And I don't know what we could start with the flutes. We could start with, I don't know,
Put some cellos in.
Yeah, yes. Exactly. Because this was a tribute to the victims of that horrible tsunami that occurred in 2011. I was so struck, so impressed by that. And I remember I started playing the piano and this melody just came out on nothing. And I wrote the piece in 10 minutes. It was one of my first compositions.
Wow.
I love it. I also used Goodbye Ragazzo. Goodbye Ragazzo. I wrote that composition of mine because it was a sad day because I just learned that a friend of mine had passed away. So I couldn't believe it, and I was very angry, surprised, and I wrote that composition. It's like Ragazzo was the way we used to call him, and so I wanted to say him goodbye, and I wrote that piece. And like Japanese samurai was meant for orchestra. Every composition of mine is meant for an orchestral arrangement, but I don't have the program, the computer right now, and so I just have to imagine inside my mind what it could sound like. Okay, but no, you have listened to Japanese samurai for the first time, so you know what I'm talking about. But if you want to listen to Skyfall, because there's one thing I would like to share with you: dotted notes, which are very important. And we have no dotted notes in Japanese sunrise, but we have a lot of dotted notes in Skyfall. And just to show you what a dotted note is and why it is, what dots are for, they really make the difference.
So I sent everybody, if that's okay, in the chat, Japanese sunrise with notes. So everything that we've talked about.
Cool.
Hey,
Oh, I
that's
don't.
wonderful. I mean, it's so complex. I mean, so much to learn
Yeah.
and just retain.
But you really broke it down.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, excellent.
Well, I was a bit scared because I always, when a teacher, you have to explain people difficult matters, like difficult stuff like this. When I know it's difficult, and I truly hope that I haven't bored you or bother you, because this subject is an awkward one, and so there's a lot of things to keep in mind, a lot of technical issues, and
No, it's very informative.
I'm so sure that you've just, if anybody watches this video, that you've just helped like millions of people out that decide to watch it.
I
And more
wanted
to
to
the
be
point, you just truly respect, the craft and like all that goes
Thanks a lot.
into writing the music, but yet knowing obviously all the fundamentals to just even.
I want to be as informative as possible. I want to share my enthusiasm with the composition of mind and to help you understand this better, because it's difficult. And just a meeting. Well, a meeting isn't enough, but I think that is quite something. Yeah, just to start with this damn music theory, which is the most hated subject at music schools. I passed the test when I was 13, and my score was 9.5 out of 10, and I was the youngest in the music school. And I understood I had been successful because I saw a lot of students coming to me and asking me what they had to do the exam. I didn't understand why they were surrounding me. They had learned that I had passed the exam with 9.5, and I had become kind of guru. Okay, and so I was just 13, and it was kind of surprise for me. And I remember that I had to read 7 different staves, okay? 7 different staves. I had practiced and studied for months. And well, I remember one thing. When I left home to go to Piacenza, that was in Piacenza, there's the music school where I studied. Well, my parents were quite, they were not optimistic. They were not positive. They didn't think that I would pass the exam. It's too difficult. Don't worry. If we don't pass the exam, you will try again. And when I came back home and I told them, well, I got 9.5 out of 10, they didn't believe me. They phoned the music school. Can you believe that? And they were so happy. And well, honestly, I couldn't believe my eyes myself, because 9.5. Well, it was kind of a miracle, but I had studied a lot, and so from that day on, I realized that I could do something good with music, and yes, and well, I became positive about my performances in public. And I just thought, and well, I can do it. And I continued studying, but it was very tough, very tough. It's not easy. It's not easy. Well, and so, Martin, what do you want to do? Do you want to, first of all, do we have time enough to do this, or are we done? Because
we're done. We're way over.
Sorry for.
So do we continue it next week? I mean,
Yeah, we can
obviously,
continue
there's so
next week.
much to build on.
Let's
yes.
do it. So what do you want to do next week?
Dotted notes, we have
Okay.
to, well, and dotted notes may really make the difference, because those dots are not are very important, because they change the value of the note. So if you have to play, you have to know what you're facing, and they lengthen the note by half of its value. So you have to know this, and you have to know how to play them. And Skyfall is a good example for that. It's a bit complicated because there are a lot of notes. So please prepare yourself for the worst.
So yeah, and also download Japanese Sunrise with notes, so that you can look over it and see if there's anything that's missing that you want to talk about, and add things next week other than just dotted notes.
Okay,
So that
there's
we can
also
go over
another
that.
composition of mine. It has a Spanish title. It's called Unico Amor. It means only love. I wrote it for my wife, and it's kind of Latin American, beat, like bachata, and so, and there's a lot of dotted notes as well, and so yeah, I think it's going to be useful. And so, okay, so we have the topic for the next meeting. Okay.
So James says, every good boy does fine and face.
Right, and then I was
E.G.
remembering
BD.
as a kid, I think I remember Every Good Boy, and I think with James kind of bringing
Thank you,
that back to
James.
memory, I think I remember Deserves Fudge.
Yeah, I learned it on guitar.
So is EGBD on your bass and FACE on your treble?
Sorry for interrupting you. But how do you have an English word for solfeggio? because we say solfeggio. I know that many English-speaking people use the same Italian word, but it's not sight singing, because sight singing means that you sing while reading the notes. But solfeggio is to read them, respecting the beats. And do you use the same word, or do you have a different word for it, or not?
I'm having a hard time understanding what you just said.
It's difficult to say because
I don't think we have that term.
No, we don't.
In English. No.
I found kind of this word solmizet, something like that. It's pronounced. It's a very difficult pronunciation. Is solmizet. Do you know this? Solmizet. Solmizate. Solmizet. It means that you read the music not by playing it, but by reading loudly, and showing other people that you know the values of each note, you know how to read it, you know everything about the fundamentals of music. Well, we use solfeggio, S-O-F-F-E-G-G-I-O, but sight singing is correct as well. So that's what.
You mean as a term? Yeah, I think what was written in the chat was like how each note on the stave is denoted by every good boy deserves football, and that's for the treble clef. And what was the bass one? Was it all cows eat grass? A-C-E-G.
So it's about clefs, stems, beams, slurs, ties, notes, dots, and that's solfeggio. You have to recognize and identify every symbol used in musical notation. That's what it is.
I put the definition from the Wikipedia in
So
chat.
what I think
solfege. Okay.
What I
That's
think Kevin
French.
is saying is the F-A-C-E and the E-G-B-D. And what'd you say, Kevin, for the other one?
A-C-E-G. All cows eat grass.
A-C-E-G. So what is played on the bass? What is played on the treble?
Well, I see a French name, solfege, but as I'm Italian, please use solfeggio. We'll be happier. Solfege. They just copied at solfeggio, because you use arpeggio in music. So 90% of the words used in music are Italian. Arpeggio, when you break a chord into single notes and you play it accordingly. So there's a lot of Italian here. So solfeggio, solmization. Okay.
There's even an app called that online, SOLFEG period IO. It's a self-learning app for download on your iPhone for playing ukulele, piano, guitar, and singing.
So Kevin, the E-G-B-D-F-F-A-C-E. So the E is at the very bottom. The F comes next.
Yeah.
And so the F, A, C, E are just like your skip notes. They're right, like they're in the middle of the lines.
Oh, I see.
And the E, G, B, D, F are right on the lines.
Maybe I made a mistake. Maybe I took it for granted, but how to read notes inside the staff. Am I right? Or am I to explain you this is an E, this is a B, this is an A, first line, first space, second space, legend lines?
Yeah, well, for everybody, because
within the lines maybe, but outside then that's like
maybe you know the treble clef, how to read the treble clef, but not the bass clef. Maybe.
Well, for people that are watching that aren't us, they're gonna want to know.
Okay, but everything you need, just ask me and I'll do my best. I know it's an awkward matter, but I'm happy that you appreciated what I've been saying so far.
Kevin, what was that last one you said again?
A-C-E-G. All cows eat grass.
A-C-E-G.
Yeah.
And that's the bass clef.
Yeah.
Bass clef.
And so, yeah, those are just going to be on the, okay, so it's GBDFA then would be on the lines, and ACEG would be on in the middle.
Yeah.
Oh, and my last thing, I picked Skyfall, but if you prefer something else, for example, Dream On, I know that James loves Dream On, or another arrangement of mine, or a song by Guns N' Roses you want to analyze, just tell me. Okay, no problem. I made kind of 320 arrangements, so there's plenty of choices. If you love,
did you see my joke?
Yeah,
at
your
the,
note.
Prelude of Angry Young Man.
So, okay, here's something cool. So in the treble, if you're playing an E on the bass, you're playing a G.
Yeah.
If you're playing a G, you're playing a B on the bass.
Yes, exactly. Yes, exactly.
If you're playing an F, you're playing an A on the bass. If you're playing an A on the treble, you're playing
for example,
an
A. If you play a C, if you play a C, or in the treble clef,
you play an E.
Yes, you're playing an E in the bass clef. Yeah.
And so that's what the GBDFA and ACEG are on the bass, and the EGBDF, FACE are on the treble.
Yeah, but it's just a matter of practice. Maybe the first time you think that the whole thing is driving you crazy because it's very difficult. You have to split your brains in two different parts. And it's practice.
Well, guitarists can do this. Well, when a guitarist starts playing, he's looking at the fretboard the whole entire time, and he doesn't really know what his left hand and right hand are doing. It's kind of the strumming pattern is completely horrible. But once it separates, it splits the mind, right?
Yeah, exactly.
The left hand and the right hand start doing two separate things.
But just imagine a conductor who has to read 7 different clefs. 7 different clefs.
So you're saying that a conductor will split into 7?
Yes, and I was forced to do that when I had to do that exam. They made me read 7 different clefs because now they told me this is played by a clarinet, so read it. This is played by trumpet. This is played by a cello.
So a guitarist or a bass player, or no, a guitarist, I should say guitarist. They're doing one thing with their left hand, or if you're left-handed, it's right hand. And that's playing the notes, right? With your right hand, you're strumming the notes. And then if you're a singer, that's the third thing you're doing. So you're doing 3 things at once. Now you have to also catch the tempo, so you're doing 4 things.
That's why violinists and cello players are forced to learn how to play the piano, because they just read one key, one clef, one staff. They have to be able to read 2 different clefs. Okay, that's why I don't know now, but when I started studying 40 years ago, they were compelled to do that. So each violin player was able to play the piano for that very reason. Okay. And but a conductor, being a conductor is a nightmare. Just imagine a symphony by Beethoven with 12 different instruments, 7 different clefs, dozens of staves, millions of notes, and you have to guide them all and tell each of them, you have to do this, you have to do that, and you have to recognize each note by ear. It's a nightmare. Okay. And Toscanini, the greatest conductor ever, was an Italian genius, did everything by heart. Okay, the only one who conducted an orchestra by heart. He left Italy because Mussolini took the power here, and a fascist hit him in the face because he refused to pay a tribute to Mussolini. So he said, okay, I can stay in Italy, and he left, and he went to the USA, became a star, and he played with the best orchestra in the world, the American Orchestra and the Philadelphia Orchestra. And you have to listen to Toscanini directing and the American orchestras, and they play Wagner. They are incredible. Listen to
the
them.
Philharmonic, right?
Yeah, I was a genius. And the Philadelphia Orchestra, the Boston Symphony, wow, the best of the best. Okay, I would like to.
I do have a quote for the week.
Oh, nice.
Music expresses that which cannot be said and on which is impossible to be silent.
Oh, that's nice. That's true.
That's good.
Who wrote it?
I don't know.
Oh, wow. This, yes,
Let's
this
see
is
if I
so
can find out.
beautiful.
Let me read this real fast. So it's called Sofa, right? Okay, I'm just gonna read what Rob sent in the chat. In music, Solfa. There's no G. Is that G silent?
Solfa, you got, because solfa, it's that's Italian. Sol and fa are two notes. Sol is E, fa is F.
Okay.
Okay.
So then it goes on to say, among many names, is a music education method used to teach oral skills, pitch, and sight reading of Western music.
Sight reading or sight singing as well, because you sight read, you don't sing, you just read the notes. But if you sight reading, you sight sing, you read the note and you sing. You have to be tuned, okay? Because that's a very good exercise. So sight singing is the best exercise.
And then it goes on to say, solfa is a form of psalmization, though the two terms are sometimes used interchangeably.
Oh, Ugo, yeah, Ugo.
Hey, so where could I find the notes to see what like the prelude to Angry Young Man even looks like?
The notes.
Is there a database?
Well,
Say that one more time.
You should
Because
type.
I've got an app that can show you those.
He was talking about how you fit, you know, the
Just-
2 + 2 = 4, and then the beats per minute. And
Just
that's the one that I think of.
Google it. You could Google it. There's a
No,
lot.
like Billy Joel. No, that's Angry Young Man.
Yeah, Angry Young Man. Sorry,
By Billy
Yeah, I
Joel.
have it right here.
the prelude part, just the prelude part.
But
Yeah,
you
I
do
have
need
it
the
right
notes,
here.
James. Just the notes.
Yeah, I want to see if it looks like it's an explosion. You know,
Wow.
Oh, you're looking for
A
the
tutorial. A
sheet music?
tutorial maybe could help. But I don't know whether there are pianists who are able to do that or not, because Billy Joel is a great pianist.
James, what was your question?
so he was teaching us about 2 + 2 = 4,
Mm-hmm.
right? And he was teaching us how to fit when you do the triplet or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Triplet, yeah.
So I was thinking of that prelude to Angry Young Man. I don't know if it's that, like he said, is it documented or does he just do it because it
Okay,
would look
here.
like a college essay, according to the way Fabrizio was teaching.
Is this what you're looking for? I just sent it in the chat.
This is the music notes. These are my. Let me check. Prelude, oh, Angry Young Man. Words and music by Billy Joel. Dun, dun,
So
dun, 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 dun.
the prelude is the hard part.
Well, if I had a keyboard here, I could play it instantly.
Is that what you were looking for?
I think,
Yes.
yeah, because he was saying 2 + 2 = 4,
Yeah, exactly.
and you can
It's-
see that there's 4.
It's but careful, James. This is a 4/4. It's fast, and you have a 16th. So a crotchet, a quarter, is made of 4/16. That's why you have 16/16 in each bar. And if you add all together, they give you 4. Okay, because 4/16 make 1/4. So you have 16th. 16th, so you have 4 quarters, so it's 4. It's perfect. It's mathematics.
There's also a lot
And,
of dotted notes.
That's
Yeah,
why I wanted it to be a good example for my brain.
yeah, but the first four bars are very simple. The fifth bar is because you have a dotted rest and a dotted chord, and it's not easy to do this. And it's kind of syncopation, you know, and it's easier to listen to it and then read the music, and then play it. Believe
Right,
me.
there's a note, play 4 times at each.
Dun, 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 dun. So yes, okay. Syncopation is one of the topic for our next meeting. Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
problem-
syncopation and dotted notes.
Dotted notes, yes, but you have to practice very slowly. Very slowly. It's going to take you some time before you can play it, because you have to play very slowly and then little by little speed it up, and then you can play it at Billy Joel speed. It's not easy. Well, I can do it very quickly because I'm an experienced player, and so it's not difficult for me. But I understand it's not easy. So okay, this is Music Notes, isn't it? That's the American company I work for, because they release my arrangements too. And please don't share the Adele's song, what's it called, Skyfall, because I gave it to them. And yes, Music Notes is a very good American company. They release and publish everything. I don't know who arranged this, but from what I see, it looks like a standard arrangement. There's no author. There's just fast prelude. So this is standard. Okay, this is not a personal version. Angry Young Man. So Jen, you would like to play this, just this part?
I don't think I ever could, but I would like to understand it and then see if I could teach it. Yeah.
Yeah, you know why there are so many rests? Each rest is its value is a 16th in the first 4 bars, because you have to play the same notes. So these two, there's an ascending stem in the first note and a descending stem in the second note. It means that you have to play that with 2 hands, okay? Because it's the same note. If you play the same notes with 1 hand, you have to be a very skilled player, a very skilled pianist. So this is meant for both hands. So you have to play it with the left hand and the right hand. You start with the right hand, and the second note is for the left hand. I can't understand that.
This song is the opposite of Mary, Mary Had a Little Lamb, right? This song would be what one of your goals would be 10 years from now, if you're like me.
Yeah, I know the song, and I've never arranged this, but okay. Well, I like Billy Joel. I love his song. He's a great guy.
Because they say even the drummer has trouble with the drumming part while he's doing the prelude.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so many, there's a change of beat, and these dotted notes are very difficult. Yeah. Well, do my best to explain what you have to do when you meet such a difficult notation, because this is
I
very
understand
difficult.
the math that you taught by looking at that right. I like to go extreme. All right, so now what? And when you go extreme, it still all makes sense to what you taught.
Yeah, great job.
Okay, let me check. Oh yeah, they have the second page, you can't read it because it's, of course I understand that, because they have to protect their stuff, unless otherwise people would take pictures of each page, and they wouldn't buy the score. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's only like $5.99.
It is a play button up there, isn't it?
Is it play by?
Is there a play button?
There should be a play button, yes. When I check my arrangements, there's always a play button, but I'm not sure about that.
Wait, are you talking about your score?
Yeah, you can pick a score of mine. You would find
So
the same.
when we do Skyfall or whatever, when we do anything,
Yes, if you type Skyfall by Jazzy Fabbry, you will find the score I gave to you. You also have the Sibelius file, but don't tell anyone, don't share it with anyone, because otherwise music notes will go mad.
well, when we show it next week, we'll just show parts. So we'll have to work on, okay, you can get with me and we can slim it down.
Okay. Okay, and just tell me if you need my help. I mean, with reading music. If you, I will ask you. I will test you. What note is this? And is this a E? Is this an F? Is this an A? A B? What note is it? Ledger lines. You have to read lines outside the staff. The famous ledger lines that help you read every note above or below the staff, and that really makes a difference. And this is very difficult, and dotted notes are very complicated. Well, I'm not complicated, but you have to keep that in mind, you know, whenever you find it, you know, that it lengthens the value of the note by its half. So if you have a crotchet, a dotted crotchet, it's 1.5. A crotchet, a quarter is 1, a dotted quarter is 1.5. You have, for example, a wide note, it's 2. You dot that wide note, its value is 3, because the half of 2 is 1, so 2 plus 1 is 3. It's mathematics. But this mental process becomes very familiar by practicing over and over and over again. Okay.
So we'll get there, and then we'll revisit. Here's a cool thing. We will revisit this, and for everybody that's been here,
yeah,
we will. You can test us a few meetings down the road, and be like, okay, James, what note is this?
I know,
What
like I
does
said,
this mean? You know, because I sent it to everybody. So
I told Rob that he must play something on the piano the next time. I'm joking. I'm joking. But you know, if I can make you understand, no, this stuff, I'll be very happy, because you know, and you will be able to be more independent, and you will have such good feeling. And you know, when you can do something, and you realize that you can do it on your own, why, you feel so good. You feel so good. At the beginning, this stuff looks like Arabic. We are like little kids. We have to learn how to read and write, but little by little, you get more self-confident, and you realize that you can do a lot of useful things, and you can use your imagination, and well, music is fantastic. Yeah. So but music theory is the worst part of it, and every musician hates music theory. When it comes to solfege, let me say that in French, solfege, you have to really work hard. But you know, the fundamentals, well, you can learn it very quickly.
Well, thank you,
I always enjoyed, it was through
know.
my mom that, you know, she started me on piano. Unfortunately, I did not grasp it like she did. She started off as a young child. I don't know if it was between 10 and 14. She plays to this day just minorly, no pun intended, over at my brother's, where she bought the piano. But I just thoroughly enjoyed growing up and listening to her play. And you know, when you think of the coordination, she used to play some boogie woogie. Do you ever play boogie woogie?
Yeah.
Or is that I mean, I was just always amazed at how quickly, you know, reading the notes and how fast her hands would go, and how the mind can process that. And
it's very difficult to process that. The most difficult thing for a pianist. Do you know why I always play by heart? Do you know why? Because because it's very difficult to look at the music sheet and at the same time look at the keyboard and check your hands. So if
Yeah.
you play by heart, you can just focus on your hands and you are not disturbed by the music sheet. And plus, you show the audience that you fully master the piece. Okay, you are the real master of that music. And but my background is classical, you know, and you know, when you play Beethoven, Liszt, and Chopin, you are just compelled to play those pieces by heart, because it's really impossible to read, to look at the music sheet and play, because your hands have to jump sidewards. You have to go from a section to another. You have to shift very quickly from a place to another. So it
And then,
becomes
let
impossible.
alone if you have to turn the page on your own.
Exactly. Unless you are a very popular pianist and you have a guy or a girl who turns the pages for you. But when I did that, he or she just disturbed me, because I didn't want anyone around me while I was playing, because they just distracted me. So yeah, it's, you know, it's very useful to learn by heart, because you have, so by doing that, you can concentrate on the keyboard itself and you feel free. That's what I feel whenever I play. So that's why I always play by heart, but I understand that it's very difficult. And I play boogie boogie, and just listen to
Yes.
Oscar Peterson. If you know him, he's the greatest
Oh,
jazz
yeah.
pianist. And he's incredible. He always plays by heart. And I studied a lot of compositions of his, many arrangements of his, and he's a real genius. Okay, you can compare him to Beethoven and Liszt. Really, I'm not joking. And yeah, I love it. So thanks a lot for your time. And
Thanks, everyone.
thanks a lot. And
Yeah.
are you playing Fortnite, guys?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to tell Nicoletta. Thank you, James. And thank you for your patience. Thank you, Glennis. And thank you, Kevin.
Yes, and
Thank
thank
you.
you,
Very,
Fabrizio.
very
Great
interesting.
job.
Thank you.
I'm going to send out an email. I've got an app on my phone called Music Theory Companion. It's only Android, but if you want to use it,
Okay, nice.
I'll let you all know.
Okay,
All
very,
right.
very good.
Great.
Have a nice weekend, everyone.
Have a
Thanks,
nice
everyone.
weekend, all of you.
You as
Ciao.
well. Hey, James, real quick with your AMA interview. Do you remember when on Wall Street, were you familiar with the Wall Street Jam and the groups that would get together?
You mean the bands that we talked about?
Yeah.
Yes, one of the best ones was called Observing Paul.
Hmm.
Did you ever hear of the Rolling Bones?
Yeah, I want to say I did.
Oh, okay, because my brother-in-law still is the bass guitarist. They're still playing.
What bank
but
did
I
they
did.
work? You're
Oh
about to say.
my God, it's so long ago. He was with
They're on Facebook, so
yeah. Oh my God, it'd be Euro Brokers, I think he was with at the time. And maybe somebody else. I mean, you guys kind of, you know.
yeah, a
When it
lot of them
changes.
always had like Observing Paul they were named Observing Paul because that was their band. But a lot of the banks had like they were named after the bank too, like the Lehman Brothers band. So
Oh, okay.
like Observing
Yeah.
Paul, their goal was to be a real band, whereas the Lehman Brothers band was, hey, we're Lehman Brothers and we're doing music.
Okay, yeah, the Rolling Bones, they would do all, you know, obviously
They
Rolling
look like
Stone
they're-
covers, and, you know, they would do some other things, but primarily, you know, all Rolling Stones.
Yeah, it looks like they're a tribute band to Stones.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, no, that was a lot of fun for you guys to have that outlet for sure, right?
Oh, it was wild.
James, you
Mhm.
should download Fortnite.
I could barely, dude. I got everybody in the Metaverse, and I don't even put it on anymore.
You know why you don't put it on anymore? And same
I
reason
work
as
too
I put it
hard.
on. It's not just that, dude. It's like after a while, your eyes, it really starts getting to your eyes.
For sure, playing August 4th at the Red Lion on Bleecker.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, I threw so many shows there that I used to be able to go in there whenever I wanted for free, even if I wasn't throwing a show. They were great.
Yeah.
We'll
We
have
at
to
one point tried throwing, we got denied. We tried throwing a block party on Bleecker Street where every single bar was going to be involved. And New York City was like, there's no way we can allow you to basically own all of Bleecker for one night.
You're like, whatever. I'll do what I want.
I was like, yeah, you haven't met me yet.
There's a party. They say no. We're gonna do
Thanks
it.
a lot, guys. I'm gonna feed
All
the
right.
dog. Okay.
Ciao.
Hey,
Ciao.
take care. Enjoy the
Ciao,
rest of your
Glennis. Ciao,
weekend.
James. See you later. I'll
See
join you in
everybody later.
fortnight. Okay.
All right.
All right.
Grazie a Nicoletta. Ciao, guys.
Later,
Thank you.
guys.
Bye-bye.
Ciao, ciao.
See ya.